Action Financial Services, business and financial consultants. Meet the owner, Miss Natasha Jackson. Take a look at her services here if you need any kind of financial assistance, whether tax preparation, financial planning, starting up a business, bookkeeping. Do you need a notary or anything of that sort? Take a look at the services listed here. Look, everyone, they have a special offer going on, 50% off. Take a look at the services listed here. Action Financial Services. Get in touch with them for your financial and business needs.
What's in my head? Nothing. It ain't. In my mind, I can't think. I can't. Trying to gather my thoughts. Shit, it's messed up. Okay. You wanna know what's in my mind? Nothing. I can't think about nothing. I can't laugh about nothing. I want to, cause it's something I'd rather do. Cause all I hustle is for my revenue. It's things I have to do. Can't pick and choose. Life's getting cut off for my mama and my sister. I came through. You don't know real pain. It gets harder than kung fu. Breathe through the rain. I'm trying to make it through. With this thing in my hand. Please, Lord, tell me what to do. I strive for these grams, pushing grams. Me and my crew, straight from the hood. All orange and navy blue. Break films, no lie, I speak the truth. Know me since the youth, don't told if not gonna shoot. Around 10, I got put on the group. Ripping like I had something to prove, but it was nothing. But I thought it was a doggo. Nothing in this game. Plans that never change, still ride for your kinfolk. Cause it is cutthroat. And while I'm doing my thing, where I DG things, then hoping I make it out first. The patience in my life. Forever in my mind, only you.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. My name is Holly.
And I'm Lately B.
And hello, humans. I'm Fatu.
And we are, welcome. As you guys know, this is Morning Mimosas, where we value criminal justice, healing, and education for the Black community. So today is a heavy one here for Morning Mimosas. We are going to be talking about the cold case of Lonnie H.K. Holt, who was gunned down on December 3rd, 2017 in Wichita, Kansas, on the 2600 block of East Wilma, and his case remains unsolved. Today on Morning Mimosas, we have his beautiful mother, Miss Shonda Hinson, and we're going to talk about HK and who he was, the father, the musician, and the man that he was. So let's go ahead and welcome the angel that birthed him, Miss Shonda Hinson, to Morning Mimosas. Welcome, Miss Hinson.
Hello. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on our platform today. And I just wanted to say we admire your strength. And we're going to do our part to make sure that your son gets the justice that he deserves, and you guys get the healing and truth that you guys deserve as well. So thank you so much for being here with us today.
I honestly just want to thank you ladies for the job that you're doing for the community. It is appreciated, even when you don't feel it or people aren't telling you. Know that there are those of us that do appreciate what you're doing. It's been a long time coming, and so just thank you. Our pleasure.
Our pleasure. So we're gonna get started with Miss Shonda, who is his mother. Miss Shonda, what do you want the world to know about Lonnie HK?
Well, Rolando, nobody ever knew his name was Rolando. Nobody ever called him that, and he would always know he got in trouble. Rolando Allen, come around that corner. It was Lonnie, though, HK to mostly everybody that knew. That was how I actually identified him when I found out. I just asked, was HK on his neck? And so that's how I knew it was my son. Growing up, it was a little rough, and I could say that Wichita is not the best place for mothers trying to raise their children. And, you got the street. And when you're alone, those boys tend to follow the other men out there because they're looking for somebody, and that's something my mom cannot give her son. And I try to explain all the time that as mothers, we do all that we can to raise our sons, but we can't teach them how to be men out here. And so the men that he did latch on to, he took a wrong turn and he went a wrong direction at a young age. But even through all of that, he was the only boy in a set of 4 sisters. So he had 2 above him, 2 below. So he was always our protector. Like he was I'm the man. He had to watch out for his sisters and his mama, which it wasn't the best life. You know what I'm saying? When you have a mom that is young and uneducated and out there and trying to figure out life, we put our sons in positions that they shouldn't really be in. And he grew up faster than he needed to, but he started following and going the wrong direction. And even in the midst of him going the wrong direction, he was still gaining friendships and making, like his PO ended up being that guy on the video y'all seen with him. That was his probation officer.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? They became best of friends. He started mentoring my son. My son was like an open book. He told you his life was rough. I was trying to look out for my mom, my sisters. I did some wrong things. I went to prison, but he got out. And what they forget to talk about is in 3 years, he didn't get in any trouble. He got out. He did his time. He did what was necessary. He got his GED. You know what I'm saying? He got out of, he never turned back around. He started a different path. And on that different path, those so-called friends decided that wasn't the way he was going to go, so they took his life.
That's horrible.
It's sad to see that, and I try to teach him, everybody's not your friend. There's some people that you may be around, they're your associates, you pick them up, they may be in your life for a season, but everybody's not your friend. And I know without a doubt that somebody knows, because won't nobody tell me who was in the house. Won't nobody tell me. Won't nobody tell me. But I found out his dad knew who was there. His dad was there. His best friend was there. Called me and told me, yeah, he said he felt like he was going to die. Somebody knows who was in there, but won't nobody tell me.
I wonder why they won't tell. For retaliation purposes, or not just embarrassment purposes, or coward purposes, and non-respectful purposes.
There it is. Coward, non-respectable.
Makes sense.
Coward, non-respectable. He has a true friend that he grew up with, and they fell out, went through some things, but this young man, like they were this, he went to the federal penitentiary. And when he found out that my son was killed and, the situation, he called me immediately and was like, Mom, what you want me to do? At the federal penitentiary, this young man reached out and was going to figure out who did what, because he knew it was in that circle. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew it was in that circle. But all I could tell him is no, let God do what he gonna do. It ain't worth. You got to come home to your mama You know, it's not fair for both of us to lose our baby. So you come home and we'll figure this out. Like I said, y'all were heaven sent, because it's been a minute. And I'm just like, Lord, only you can reveal, and all things come in time.
Mm-hmm.
It won't do.
That is. And to the friends, the so-called friends of his, if you know something, say something, please. It's been almost 6 years since this happened, and it's not fair to Miss Shonda or her family that they don't know what truly happened. You know, it's time for you guys to talk. If you guys were his friends,
Mm-hmm.
so that's my plea to you guys in Wichita, Kansas, or if you guys have moved to different states, wherever you are, come forward.
Please do.
Have some self-respect and love for your brother, man, and your community. Keeping quiet does not help the community at all.
Not at all. Not one bit.
I don't know what the world thinks that retaliation is going to do. What good would it do for me to take somebody else's son when my son is gone? Why would I want that hurt for that other mother?
Mm-hmm.
If you did it, that's between you and God. But just keep it real with me. That's all I'm asking. If you called yourself a friend, you've been in my face, whatever, just keep it 100 with me. I can deal with that. But you can't.
Yeah.
I almost know that my son knew it was his time. He put that song out right before. And I promise you, in the next verse, that man says everything that happened to my boy. You got people you think they friends, but they're going to leave your body shot, laying in mildew. Like, that touched my soul. You knew. You told your friend you was about to die. Like, this is... When a person say, I feel like I'm going to die,
yeah,
that's not something you take lightly. But you walked off and you left him there. Just tell me who was there. That's all I want to know.
Exactly.
But they didn't even call me. They called my youngest daughter. That's what I want y'all to understand. They didn't call me. They called my youngest daughter, and she called me and said, Mama, somebody just called and said Lonnie was shot and killed and stuff. And Mama, can you go over there and see?
Wow.
That's a goddamn shame.
Here's why I'm torn, and I need y'all to, and it's just time for it to come out. It is what it is. You got a best friend that's over there and she sees everything. Well, that best friend told me that my granddaughter was just over there and my daughter came to pick up the grandbaby. Who's at this house? Why has nobody told me? 2 days later, his dad calls me at 4:00 in the morning, out of his mind, you can tell, and he says stuff like, man, and I know, and Lonnie, and I knew them niggas, and shoot, I shouldn't. And I'm like, you shouldn't have what? I just want to know.
I just want to know why HK's father is not being more forthcoming.
That was my face was getting scrunchy because I'm like, that's your child. Why would you hold that information?
Holding that did.
Unless you yourself has something to do with it.
Or did it, yeah.
Or did it, yeah.
So, let's just say Gary is not the father that he should have been in life. And all dads, all men ain't fathers. Some of them is just here to be the donor, the dad, or whatever it is, but they're not all fathers. They don't lead. My son tried so hard to have a connection with this man that was toxic. You know what I'm saying? That on meth, on coke, on all these drugs, and you sucked your son into that life. And you took him to places you know he didn't have no business being, and get him caught up with these people. And at the whole funeral, he went up there on some tangent. I had to tell my mama, if y'all don't go get him, he gonna be laying in there with his son. How dare you have the audacity to come in front of all these people and talk about how you know you was wrong and you shouldn't have been there? What are you saying to me?
Right.
Be a man and stand up and tell me the truth.
Seriously. Seriously. The goddamn shame.
Yeah.
So, what's his father's name?
Gary Holt.
Gary Holt. So to Mr. Holt, I'm going to say this to you because we tell the truth here on Morning Mimosas. So to you, sir, get a pair of balls. Go to the Wichita police and tell them what you know about your son. It's kind of pathetic that you call yourself a so-called man, but you're not able to be man enough to get your son justice. You're not a man, if I may say so myself. I'm sorry. I'm defending HK's honor and the honor of his mother, and I have to go against you, sir. Because if you know something, get your black crackhead ass up, whatever it is, and go to the Wichita police and go tell them what you know. How pathetic are you?
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. Y'all know me. I will.
Like I'm still sitting here in awe and a little bit of confusion, because that's still a part of you. It's still a part of you, you know. And I know I watch these ID channels and read these stories, and so I know that anything is possible and anybody is capable of anything at any time, pushed to a certain way. But if you do something to that degree, then stand on it and take your licks, whatever the consequences may be. Don't be, you weren't embarrassed when you took the young man's life. You weren't embarrassed holding on to the secret. You're not embarrassed to come and be in anyone's space, where it's passing in the grocery store, just coming over. You don't, like, what type of human life are you? You're a waste at this point. Just a waste.
Entire waste. The goddamn shame.
And then you probably got your chest puffed out for what? With a C on it for coward?
I'm going to throw this in the air because I am a very strong believer in my faith that I practice. Everybody have their own, but I believe who I am. And I know that people think, oh, I did this and I'm going to get away with it and it'll be 20, 30 years down the line. I don't care how long it takes. I will see justice for my son. And at this point, I don't care if it's my mama, sisters, and daddy. If you did it, you're going to admit and you're going to take accountability for your actions so there can be some peace and some forgiveness and healing going on. Because that's where we're at in life. I don't care to be hateful. My son was the kindest. Y'all, when I tell you he looked after his mama, I'd be at home going through something and my boy would come over and say, Mom, I'm about to clean your room for you. Go in the living room and rest. Put your feet up. He dated women that was older than him, had children. He was taking care of their kids, trying to help them. His best friend's son, he was such an influence. That young man has my son's name tattooed across his chest with clouds and stairs to heaven. And his dad and family jumped his ass for getting that tattoo.
That's a shame.
I appreciate
That's extra toxic.
Hey, and I talk to him all the time. But I just want y'all to know that's the type of man my son really was. He was young and black and he did what he did, but he also went a different direction and was trying to get. He loved his music. That was his outlet. He just wanted to be in the studio. That's all he wanted. That's all.
Just trying to live his life.
That part, yeah.
He wanted a job, and it was hard to do that because he had a felony on his record. He just wanted to, Mike, got any work? He didn't ask for nobody, no handouts. If you had it, he, but it's just every time he got with that dang Gary, every single time he got in mess. But you supposed to be, how can a woman tell her son, I don't want you around your daddy?
Yeah, true.
I never have been a mom to tell my kids anything wrong about their dad. I let them grow up and see for themselves. But in the midst, I can say as your mom, that's not what you want to do. That's not what you want to do.
Not at all.
But how much power as a man do you have over this other man to try to get him where you at because he want to be so close to you? Like, I'm just not.
Yeah.
And Junie, I don't know what's going on with her, but she know who was over there. Like, just tell me, girl, who's over there? Who was over there? He told you out of his mouth he thought he was going to die. You told him, hold on, you be back to get him.
Gosh.
So did she know something was going down as well? Like, how could you be so callous? That's your best friend.
Tell me.
Exactly.
Somebody tell me, because I'm trying to figure that out.
That whole part.
If somebody
wouldn't even
feel like they're about to die, I'm going to be like, huh? What? Wait a minute.
I would never even say that I would never admit that I was that callous, especially when it came to what he said came to fruition. I would feel horrible as a human being, as a friend.
She does. I'm going to tell you right now, she has regretted it every day. She came to me and all she could say was, man, I just wish I wouldn't have left for a minute. I just wish. And she says it so much. She has so many dreams. She has, like the sympathy is there.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't go back and say you should have followed your first mind. And it's taking her to some places where she's going to have to get some rehab and some treatment. Like she's been through it because she feels like I should have, but you didn't.
Very true.
I can't get mad. Like her son is the one that has this tattoo. You know what I'm saying? I know they loved my boy. I know they did. But to her, just tell me who was there.
Like, please.
Right.
When he said this to you, who was there that was making him
right?
This? There was something.
He felt it from somebody that was there. Who was that person? We need to know.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna go ahead and share a video clip from the news there in Wichita, Cake, and then I want us to discuss it. Mostly because I want people to remember HK for who he was and not for his past. So give me 1 second while I bring that up. But yeah. All right. Are you guys able to see this?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us. That murder happened.
I apologize. We're gonna look at the commercial and then skip it. I apologize.
Tonight, the victim, Rolando Holt, was remembered at a vigil. Cake's Greg Miller spoke with his mother. He's here now with the story.
And Deb, those friends and family gathered tonight to remember Holt. He was killed at the age of 26 on Sunday morning. He was one of 3 killed last weekend in several shootings. His mother hopes people remember the character of her son and that the surge in crime in the city stops. Friends and family lit candles, shed tears, and remembered the life of Rolando Holt. His mother's pain was evident as friends gathered for a vigil.
Tonight I'm here to say revenge stops here.
She describes him as a musician, a young man who enjoyed life.
He did the most of his most. He lived at his pace, and he did what he wanted to do and was a great leader.
But Holt did have trouble in the past. Spent time behind bars in Hutchinson and El Dorado for drug convictions. But he had a clean record after his sentence. She fears some
Why
bad
was
connections
that?
in the past may have come back to haunt him.
He had some associates, but he also had some very true and loyal friends. And those that you see in the cold could be the one. But at this time, we just want to honor those that are really true and loyal by being able to share with his family members.
Police say he was in the 2600 block of East Wilma Saturday night visiting friends when someone came into a home and shot him. Another person was hurt in a shooting blocks away. He was one of 3 people killed in shootings last weekend and one of 7 in 2 weeks.
Our dedicated staff has been working hard, nonstop on these cases.
I'm going to find you, Chief.
And we're having
Yep.
a fair amount of success.
His mother just wants the surge in shootings to stop.
But lives matter, period, whatever color you are.
Yep.
And this violence amongst one another is what really just needs to stop.
Chief Ramsey was talking about progress in those investigations as a whole, but police have not named suspects in this specific case yet. In studio, Greg Miller, KQ.
So, that whole news clip, not the whole clip, but when they were mentioning his past really bothers me. Because why was that? Right. Well, why was that necessary? And to Chief, what was his name? Gordon Ramsay, or Chief Ramsay of the Wichita Police Department. What efforts are you guys doing to solve these cold cases? His was the 3rd murder that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are we doing to solve these cases? We need to put some pep in our step here, because people need answers. There's a killer walking amongst you guys, and you guys are not concerned about that. That blows my mind. It just blows my mind.
And they didn't even get the story straight. They said he was out visiting somebody, going somewhere. He was in his own house.
Right. That part too.
That's a goddamn shame. Goddamn shame.
In his house. And so in that house was a roommate. All I can say.
Where's the roommate?
Right. Where is he or she?
The roommate, a female, and somebody else all went down for questioning. Who are these people?
Exactly.
So my question to you, Miss Shonda, has the Wichita Police, because I'm going to continuously call you guys out, have they given you any information in the last 5.5 years?
I get a letter every November that says, with our deepest condolences, we're thinking of you as your child is one of the murdered victims of Wichita, Kansas. Well, there it is.
Oh, keep reminding me. That's just fantastic.
That's what
I
moved to a whole new state.
That's torturous. That's not a good deed. That's torturous.
Like, keep your letter. Keep your goddamn letter and go do your goddamn job.
Because you can pay people to do their job with the money that you have sent to me in postage and the ink you wasted and the paper, like from beginning to the end. Just do your fucking job.
I'm appalled.
There's no way that there's 3 people murdered and nobody saw anything.
And not to mention,
this camera,
like the blocks in Wichita, Kansas. When I tell y'all this little hick city, they were in the same exact block, the same block, and they all knew each other.
So
the one that got shot before him, right before him,
I was gonna ask about that.
Pass. He got shot in the leg. He's still alive. How come he didn't come to say?
Exactly.
When I was looking into HK's story, I tried to figure out who that victim was, and there's no information on who that gentleman is. Who is he?
Nope.
It
They
all
didn't
just sounds
say.
so shady
Mm-hmm.
because they shot you. Wouldn't you be scared that they're not going to come back? Like you wouldn't tell to get them off of the street? Make that make sense.
You know, people just don't want to do that because they don't want to lose their credibility. You know.
Come on. When do we grow up from that though? When do we grow up from my street cred? Do you own that street?
No.
Do you pay property tax for that street? So why what is up with that mentality? Y'all don't own none of this. So don't be this is my no.
You
Start
wasting
talking.
your life, your blood, everybody's tears and money on funerals for something that does not even belong to you. The only thing that belongs to you is your life.
You got that right.
And that doesn't belong to you because it's a gift.
That part.
So
every breath is
somebody's
borrowed
mama,
time. Yeah.
Whoever's mama, I'm saying from black mama to black mama, have the courtesy, the decency to at least make your child stand and be accountable.
Yeah.
For mama,
You know.
grandma, cousin, somebody. This is the year of accountability. God is a giving God, but unless you stand and face your truths right here, somebody, mama, gotta have a heart. Because if it was your child,
you would want the same thing. That's what I do not understand. So if you wouldn't wish that feeling on anyone, why would you let someone be in that continual space and emotion? Say something. You know, as a mom, you know, if talking to your kid and asking questions, you know whether or not they did it or not, or they know something.
Exactly.
Make them come forward.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to be
destroyed a whole family. My son died on December the 3rd, and I had his funeral on December the 15th, not even realizing it was my daughter's birthday.
Oh.
You were in such pain.
Yeah.
And then after I realized, I'm like, what the hell? This what she get to remember for her birthday?
Yeah. The only positive spin is that when she's celebrating her life, she's celebrating his as well.
That's what she does. Yep, that's what she does.
That's real good. Yep.
You know what's it's crazy is that most people would see that as a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. It's a bad thing that you had to have the funeral in the first place. Right. That's the bad thing. But the celebration of life trumps everything else when that life is no longer here.
Yep.
Yep.
So
I'm sitting here thinking from the father to the sibling to the best friend to the roommate, there's 4 solid people right there who should say something. Otherwise, all of y'all are complicit. All of y'all.
Period.
Like, did y'all know? Is this a complete setup from beginning to the end? And like, what was the reasoning? Because he wanted to better his life?
I have a huge issue with people who do that, who want to destroy another because the other one wants to make, do something better with their life. I just don't I don't understand that evil mentality of human. Like,
so you have the audacity to try to be better than me. We all low around here. No, we all can rise up above no matter what situation we're in.
Exactly.
That's that crabs in a barrel mentality.
People are just shady. you know,
Yeah.
in general.
There's too many people, not just in one house, but that's 3 different houses or 3 different spaces. You cannot tell me that nobody knows anything. That's insane.
If I can,
I just,
it goes back to that, especially in our community, that no snitching thing. But it's just like, when do we change that? When do we stop? When do we
now,
say, hey, yeah,
yesterday,
when,
tomorrow.
like what does withholding that information do for you? That's my question, to not just who knows what happened to this beautiful young man, but for other beautiful souls too. Holding that information, what does that do for you? It doesn't do anything for you. Nothing.
Mm-mm.
Other than what Ms. Fatu was talking about, what self-preservation.
Mm-hmm.
But that's selfish. Speak up. It's time.
Karma comes back around. Let's not forget about the karma that's coming back. Just because you didn't do the act, you know what happened, and you're refusing to say something, so it's still gonna come back to you regardless.
Yep.
You're not escaping anything.
Nope.
No, you're not.
Except for a peaceful life. And if you are at peace, truly at peace, and you haven't said anything, you know what's happened, then you're just a piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
If you can be easy with knowing this information about somebody that you loved, you care about, you knew, you respected, and you don't say anything and you sleep easy at night, you're a sociopath. You have the tendencies.
Literally. Gosh, damn shame.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you guys know Miss Shonda, right? You guys know her son. Why? I mean, I the thing that I'm just not understanding is, where's the love? Where's the love, y'all?
What if that was
love? Right.
How you gonna leave her feeling like that?
Yeah.
I hope it felt good, and that's how you feel. You know, if that's how you're gonna leave somebody else's parent in that place, then I hope your parents are left in the same place too, wondering, scared.
Yeah.
Sorry for
you. Just continue the cycle, because your children may feel that.
Mm-hmm. But you took a life, and if you don't want to come forward yourself or other people, the person that did it, and it makes you look just as bad.
Yeah.
On the other hand, as well, if you don't come forward, we're gonna find you. Also, that's one thing. That's one thing about Morning Mimosas. We're not just here to talk about HK's story and give you guys the information to make sure you guys come forward.
I know.
We're gonna get you, whoever you are, whether you're in Wichita, Kansas, Denver, Colorado, Houston, Texas, Cancun, Mexico. We're gonna find you. We're gonna find you, because you're not getting away with this. It's already been too long. And then to the Wichita police, you guys know me. To the Wichita police, I'm gonna speak to you guys specifically. Actually, all police forces. Let me not just speak to you guys. All police forces, do better. Because you guys don't give a fuck until it's one of you guys' family members. And then you guys are on it. Right? Treat the citizens like they're your family. Start putting that mentality. What is that? Protect and serve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where is that? Where's the protect and serving? I don't see it. Do you guys? Am I?
Well, the protect and serve is not really meant for people of color. It wasn't to help people of color. It was to keep them down. So they're protecting and serving their own.
They was protecting and serving them from us, protecting them from us, serving their community so we couldn't get in their communities.
That part, exactly. So they
That
don't
needs
have
that
a,
needs to
they don't
change.
have a care. Yeah, it absolutely needs to change because they don't have a care in the world about what's going on. It's not their children. It's not their sons and daughters' friends. It's not their, cousins. It's not their family members, so they don't care. That's why it's gone on this long without any type of solution, without any type of, okay, this is who we think may be in the house, or this is who we've checked out and that we've cleared. Because somebody got to damn know something. And there's no way that I refuse to believe that the police don't know. They have to know.
They're
At this point, they're like paid
It
off.
does them no, yeah, they get no benefit from stating such. So they just keep it moving.
I'm gonna tell y'all what I shared with Holly. After all of this happened and talking to my youngest granddaughter, I decided I was gonna go back and get my college degree. And I decided to go into criminal justice, and I wanted to learn some things behind the scenes. And in doing that, I took a course called Gangs in the Neighborhood or whatever, and it was in Wichita. And I'm sitting in class, but I'm online. We're online because, this is after COVID and we still haven't. And guess who pops up on the screen? Guess whose music video rolls across the screen? And I tell my husband, that's Lonnie. Now, if you can get on social media and pull all his, and I promise everything in me, when the instructor figured out I was in the class, he cut the video.
Oh my gosh.
In the middle of my son, him telling, yeah, these are gang members and this is where they meet up and this is woo-woo. And we see all this picture flash and I'm like, and he shows a music video and it's my son.
So yeah, they think he was in a gang. So right, they really don't care.
But talking about how some of them are dead and gone on and this is how they honor. So you can't tell me as a force, if y'all teaching this to a class of college kids, you know what's going on. So just tell me, I'm sitting right here watching this. And all you can do is figure out, oh, cut it off.
Yeah.
No, let me see that. Actually.
Keep it playing, yeah.
A person you are. That is uncalled for, and I'm sorry that you had to experience that, especially in front of others. I'm sure it was a Zoom class,
Yeah, it was.
But having to experience that and then realize that this is why the case is unsolved, because y'all don't care. Y'all just think it's another gang member or just a black person, period. So I'm not going to waste our resources and even looking into it.
Yep, exactly.
Just because somebody makes music doesn't make them a gang member.
No.
Exactly.
And there's absolutely no reason to be disgusting and use whatever his criminal past was on the news. What, to just make sure that people
they left out. He was a child. He was a teenager when those things happened.
Exactly.
He was a teenager.
But, that's how they do us. They have to make people, disassociate their feelings and feel empathy that a black person lost their lives. Whether it was to violence or non-violence, they don't want that association of empathy. That's another one gone. Let's just keep it moving. That's what they want people, how they want people to feel. That's why they throw that out there.
Yeah.
They need to do better. That's just
exactly.
That's just ridiculous. That's ridiculous to me. Like,
they need to do more than better. That is a disgrace towards her and her family, especially if you're gonna teach it to a class. Like, and put my son as a member in the video. That is something you should be able to put a lawsuit against, because what the fuck?
You didn't see me in this class? I was all over the news in the situation. You didn't see me sitting in your class. And that's the respect you have?
And probably knew. Because if they looked at you and realized that you were his mother by your reaction, then you had to have known that it was going to play in the class anyway.
How would you not? Because
Yeah, so that was on
and then suddenly,
purpose.
like, you get this person's name in here, and it's just like, this is, come on now.
Man, that pisses me off. They did it on purpose. People are evil.
Evil.
The bad part about all of that, the whole entire bad part, and it affected me for such a long time. I withdrew from some classes, and I had to get back on board. But he had a little cousin, or they were about the same age actually, and me and her mother are very, very close. And this young lady life got taken a few months before my son, and her and my son were very close. And her guy shot her and put her in the back of a car and drove her to a dead end and left her.
No.
And do y'all know they played her in that video as a gang member?
They got the nerve.
Excuse me?
My husband's sitting right here. I promise to y'all, because when they played it, I froze everything in me. And I showed him, well, what the hell? They showed her first. Like, you don't have no respect.
She was a gang member, like
murdered and left in the, and now you're playing this for everybody in the world to just put her in this. And I kept on watching after that, you know, and seeing several of his friends, including the one that was in the federal penitentiary. I saw him as well. And this is the officer telling how they get all their information, how they look at social media, how they go into these deep places and follow their lines and get their pictures and had them in the park and all this surveillance stuff and showing everybody this is how we do. And then they come up with my son's picture and tried to play the video. And I'm just like, well, ain't this some right here?
They got the audacity.
Y'all taking people that have lost their life in tragic ways and making gang films and associating them.
And they laugh about it too. Yeah.
They do.
And so as a first generation Black college student at the age of 51, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Because I've struggled hard enough to even try to go to school and get educated. And this is what you want to show me?
Yes, exactly. The audacity.
And cut it off. Like, oh, my bad.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, oh my, that's some bullshit.
But who do you tell about that stuff, y'all? Who cares to listen?
Right. Because they already deemed them, you
Even
know.
if they listen, what they gonna do? They ain't did nothing all this time but send me a letter.
Every year at that, to remind you how poor of a job they're
Man, that's disgusting.
That makes me just want to write them and tell them you guys are doing a failed job. I hope you have a good day.
Oh,
every day.
They're gonna be hearing from Morning Mimosas for sure.
We got to Colorado and I got this paper in the mail when we first got here, and I'm like, this is the city of Wichita. Open it up and Shonda, we want to apologize, regret, and I'm like, what is this? And your son, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Y'all done tracked me to here and sent it?
Wow.
If you ain't tracking me down to tell me that you caught my son's killer, don't track me down for anything else.
Okay.
Fuck alone.
Call me when there's a lead.
That's the only thing I care about. Did you find the person that did it? Did they confess? And are they being held accountable? All that other stuff is irrelevant. And cruel. Actually.
Before when you ghost me, go on and stay ghosted, because I don't like Casper. I'm not up for friendly ghosts. Don't come back trying to be my buddy and say, boo, how you doing? None of that. Figure out what it is that you ghosted me for in the first place and fix that situation. You know, just rubbing it in and everybody, how you doing? And no, to me, that's real fake. It's real fake.
No,
I'm doing the same way. Time ain't made it no easier. It ain't made it no better. Every morning I get up and I look at my son's picture and be like, damn, he would have been 30 by now. It doesn't make it easier.
Yeah.
And every day I gotta wonder which one of y'all is still smiling in my face.
Exactly.
Knowing all of the information. Technically, all of them.
Man.
Whoever was there that still has conversation with you are the ones, because you know something. You know who was there at the very least.
And I'm honestly, wholeheartedly, I can tell y'all, I'm the type of person that even it don't matter who it was that took my son's life. If I knew today and I knew the young man, we would talk about it. I'm not hateful. I'm not mean. I'm not judgmental. I'm just who I am.
But you just need closure.
I just want to know what gave you the power to take my son's life. That was not your call. But you can at least apologize for what you did, because it's caused some trauma. That's the only boy I birthed. I got other sons, yeah, but that's the only one I birthed. That was my only. Y'all don't have to do him like that. They ran to me for everything else when my kids was in something. Y'all don't have to do him like that. And then to have the nerve to just everybody keep going like ain't nothing happened.
All I have to say is I'm sorry, because this isn't fair to you at all in any way. And it really irks my soul to know that there's nothing being done about it at all.
Yeah, I agree. It's like compounding the hurt.
Well, you've come a very long way, and I just encourage you to keep doing what you're doing and do the best that you can do for yourself and for everybody else, and live his legacy. And just be the best mom you can be for him still, and he's your angel. This isn't, we can't make up for anything that anybody else has done, but we give you our love. Like, it's really just heart-wrenching. I can't even keep my composure half this time. I'm like, just close your eyes, it's okay. But I'm really sorry for you, and I'm sorry that you had to go through this and endure all of the pain all of these years with no closure.
Well, this is the time for whoever that did whatever to just be accountable. Just stand up and tell your truth. Now's the time to come out. Let's get it over with, because either you're going to do it the correct way or it's going to come out the wrong way, and that's not going to be the good way. So let's just do what needs to be done. But on the other hand, whoever you were, this life-changing experience, you sending my granddaughter to be an attorney. She's going to find out. She's going to find out. If something don't happen soon, it's going to happen. I know that I won't up to my grave not knowing.
Yeah. No, it's a tribe now.
Yep.
Tribal people trying to figure out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all that I want. I just want that. I understood what people meant when they said, I just need some closure. Like, maybe it wasn't meant for me to see my son. Like, I wanted to walk in the house and see him. But when that officer came out and I just asked, did he have HK on his neck, and he dropped his head, I knew. And I couldn't move. Like, I don't want to see him at his worst, because he's always been at his greatest, regardless what he's been through. As a Black man, he only did what the world showed him. But he was doing everything he could to get it better. But he's got a daughter in this world, and we always gonna be there for her. And she looks so much like him, I'm just grateful for that. And I never leave him. He never leaves me. I know that.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely with you all the time.
So thank you, ladies, once again. That I will continue to press forward. I'll figure somebody is going to one day have enough nerve to stand up and say, That's all I want.
Yeah, I believe that. Whatever the circumstances are for the truth to come out, I believe the truth will come out. Absolutely.
Yes. Well, we thank you for being here too and being strong for yourself and your family and for HK.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. We can't hear you. She's talking.
My apologies. We're gonna go ahead and let Miss Shonda go. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, I'm gonna make sure that we do our part to make sure that your son gets the true justice that he deserves, and then your family gets the true, just the truth and healing that needs to happen. So, just thank you so much for being on here today. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Holly. It was good to see you again.
It was amazing to see you too. So I'm gonna go ahead and say the last thoughts for this episode today. If you guys know something about this case, please say something. It's not fair that this family has to go through this. So, as you guys know, this is Morning Mimosas, where we put value in criminal justice, healing, and education for our community. There will be no outro today, so we'll just be signing off. You guys will see us go by.
Bye, humans.
Bye.